Hello everyone, it's Amy and welcome back for another Journaling on a Budget video. And today I wanted to go over fussy cut flowers and flower books. Now, the one thing I wanted to show you was this is a Time Life Encyclopedia of Gardening. And I have 4 books here. I have 2 flowering houseplants, 1 perennials, and 1 lawn and garden cover. Now, I've already finished this flowering houseplants and this perennials. I took the perennials with me when we went to Oklahoma and cut the flowers out of there. But lately I've been seeing everybody that's been putting really pretty flowers, and a lot of them are stickers that they've been getting from AliExpress and fussy cut flowers that they've cut out themselves. But the one thing is, when you fussy cut a flower that is doesn't have the white around the edge, then you have to really kind of fussy cut it right along the edges of the flower, because if there's other things behind that or a dark color, it doesn't look as well. And but the ones with the white edging around them are really pretty, and those ones come out looking like this. And I just really love the looks of, you don't have to perfectly fussy cut them. You just cut around them and leave a little bit of white. And it just makes it so easy to fussy cut instead of trying to cut every one of those little leaves out and get in between here and remove the white. If you just leave a little edging, they look really great. And so I wanted to show you this Flowering Houseplants book, because when I got it, I really didn't think like that much of it. And even like your full pages of flowers, like this is a really pretty page, but a lot of times when you have a big page, you either have to fussy cut out the flowers, like I said, right next to the flower, or kind of what are you going to do with it. And this page right here, because I have the other book like this, I made this cute little double pocket out of that. And so it's got the 2 little pockets, and all I did was I just took this and I just took the page out and folded over the top, folded over the bottom. That's where I got my flaps, folded it in half. And now I have this cool little, you can put it right in your journal like this, and you've got a little pocket on each side. It looks really nice. Sometimes things you can't turn sideways like that, but this looks really good that way. So even the big pages that it has are great. And when you look at this, it has in the front, it has a lot of these type pages, which are not necessarily the best pages, but in the back of these books, and all of these books are the same, they have this section, which is the encyclopedia part, and it has all of these flowers like this. Now you can cut them out just as a big square and use them like that, but I really like them to fussy cut around them. And the only problem is you have to choose. You have these 3 here, and then on this side you have these 2. So you have to choose which ones is it that you want to cut out, because you only obviously get to have one side. But this book, and in this book with the planters underneath, I really didn't know if I would like that, but you can always kind of cut that off, or you can color those planters any color you want to. That would be kind of cute. And they turned out, they don't look as great here as they do when you fussy cut them out. So I just kind of wanted to let you know that if you see books, they have a lot of the flower pictures with a white background. They make great fussy cut flowers. So this book here, I wound up getting all of these fussy cut flowers out of, and they really do look nice when you fussy cut them out. Let's look at a colored one so you can see it better. But isn't that just, they're just so cute. And I got all of these, this whole box, right here, all of these here, out of this one Flowering Houseplants book. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. This is the Flowering Houseplants book that I see. There's all the pages missing. And then actually, you have enough page here to use these to make pockets out of, and more other flower pictures that you can play with. The one that was the perennials, this is my favorite. And again, I have cut out, that's a sheet out of another book. But I have cut out all of those pages. As a matter of fact, no, that's all missing, because I took out all those little half pieces and was using those for pockets. So, but here's another really pretty page in this book. But again, it has a lot of this in the front. And, so it doesn't have every page that's great. This would make another really nice pocket page. And out of this book, I wound up getting, I didn't want to mix them up, so I left them out. This is what I put them in while we were traveling. But I wound up with all of these beautiful flowers. I mean, aren't they just so pretty? And I wound up with so many of them. And I just liked the perennials better because they're a little bit bigger than the others. And they didn't have the little flower pot. But you never know exactly what you're going to want. So it's nice to have a variety of flowers and a variety of sizes, and some of them with the planters and some of them without. So I just wanted to just let you know that this is a nice book to look for. And I started out with the perennials, and then while we were in Oklahoma, I found the flowering house plants at a secondhand store, and so I picked that one up. And then when I came home, I stopped at my secondhand store, and I just literally looked for this, thin brown cover, and just looked for the time life on there, and I found the flowering houseplants and the lawn and garden cover at my secondhand store after I came home in the same trip. I was lucky. So you've seen the flowering houseplants, and the lawn and garden cover doesn't have as many perfect flowers like you might think. Like, this is a really great one to cut out in this one, but you would think, well, I don't really want that, or that's just ivy leaves. But you need leaves to go behind your flowers. So I'm gonna just take this out. Normally I cut the book right here so that I keep this part good, we'll just cut out this ivy just to see what it looks like once it's not in the book. And I'll just show you. I just go around and just leave about 1/8 of an inch, 1/16 of an inch or something, and it makes it nice and easy to cut out so that you're not trying to get everything perfect. And sometimes, instead of going everything just along the outside edge, on some of them I have pretty big gap right here. So if I have a big gap, because I don't really have to cut right next to that really skinny stem, I'm going to come in here and because I get to cut 1/8 of an inch or so out, it's not going to ruin it. Because if you try and cut right next to that stem, it's too thin, to keep that. And you don't want to necessarily cut out everything perfect and then leave a bunch of white next to that stem. This one I'm not going to go in that far, but I'm going in a little bit. And some of them I just stay on the outside so that because that's, the way that they're easier to cut. But I just put a little bit of dimension in my cut. And normally I take a little bit more time. I'm kind of getting some pointy edges and some super rounded edges. And I kind of like to come down here and get that other one out of my way. I kind of like to make them all the same. Like here, this one is kind of quite square. And I really like to kind of make them just a little bit rounded, a little bit pointy, if that makes any sense. But so now this one, because there's not much of a gap between those two flowers, I don't want to try and get or two leaves, I don't want to try and get all the way in there. So I'm just going to stay on the outside of this one. But the next one, we've got quite a bit of room. And so on that one, I'm going to go all the way in towards the stem. And this just helps it when you put it on your page. It gives it a little more dimension than just being like this big rounded blob. But it's still easy to do because you pick and choose where you want to try and go in a little further and where you're just going to stay around the outside edge. And then if you have a flower that you really like and you think, oh, I think that I would like this flower fussy cut right next to the flower, You can always cut them out this way, and then when you go to put them on your project, if you don't like the white on there, then you can fussy cut it right next to the flower, but you've already got a really nice start to it. And there we go. So see, that didn't really take long at all, and now isn't that cute? That looks like the stickers everybody's using, and compared to this, you know, this just would look so nice on your project. You know, you put it on there, and it just really kind of stands out versus trying to, let's just cut this out as a square, which sometimes you might want this, or you might want to cut these squares out and put them on a backing paper and use them as a tag. But, you know, the difference of that to that, it just looks so much better, and it doesn't take long at all. So I just wanted to kind of, you know, talk to you. You don't have to have the books I showed you, but I did want to just kind of, you know, give you an idea, because when I bought the first book, I actually bought it for the bigger pictures that were in there that I thought were, now I would need to decide, do I want those or this, and I want this one because I like the size and, you know, the nice bright yellow color. But you know, look for books that have smaller pictures, that you can cut those pictures out and go ahead and use them on your projects. Is this the ground cover? This is the ground cover. I didn't realize the ground cover had as many pretty pictures in here. I thought that there was lots of leaves. But I thought, well, the leaves are good because I don't really have any leaves. I have all flowers so far. So see, there's some really nice pine needles on there. And, you know, just all sorts of things. So I just kind of wanted to show you and let you know that now even these tall, skinny ones, once you fussy cut around them, you know, like we did with just the extra white, they still look really nice. So just something for you to think about when you're looking for the flowers, or when you're looking that everybody has those really pretty flowers with the white edges and they're putting them on their tags and you really like it. You don't have to go out and buy, you know, the stickers or whatever, and you can just go ahead and look and find a book that has flowers that have white behind them, and it looks really great. So thank you very much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it, and I hope that you all have an outstanding day. Bye-bye.